What's up, sir?
What's going on, man?
Not much. There's been a lot going on in the gaming world since the last time we did a show.
Yeah. We actually have something to talk about this time.
Yeah, usually there's nothing.
All right. Things are being difficult here. Let's see if we could fix some of this.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Well?
Yeah.
All right. Using a new device because I am in the middle of travel.
Gotcha.
Who says you could do that?
Look like some pretty good subjects here.
Yeah. So the DLSS one, I realized I put 2 in there twice, so I'm just going to bump it to 4.
Right. Yeah, it's an interesting topic. Have either of y'all played the Crimson Desert game?
Yeah, I have it. I was going to talk about it. I mean, I haven't been able to play much of it. I finally just got through the tutorial. I've had it, since Thursday, but I just haven't had the time to play it.
Yeah, I'm going to bring that up during the DLSS conversation.
Why? Oh, because they have AI generated assets.
No. I have a point to make about it, but yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
We can save it for that. I have not really played it myself. I've just seen a lot of people talk about it.
Yeah. I don't know which way people need to go with it or whatever. What I'm trying to say, yes. Sorry, I can reinstall NVIDIA Broadcast.
It's weird. You're more clear, but it feels like less quality. If that makes any sense to you.
Kind of. This thing has to restart my system. I'll be pissed.
Oh, hell.
We waiting on Wild?
No, I'm just waiting for you to get done.
Yeah. I guess you could go and I'll turn my camera on when I can.
All right. Are you ready, Solops?
Yeah, we can start anytime.
All right. And here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Griffcast, episode 160, the Mature Nerdy Podcast for Immature People, the show where we talk about any and all things nerd from video games, comic books, movies, computer technology, and/or science. I am your host, King Neckbeard Griffmore. Welcome to the show. I need to fix some stuff. Yeah, so I funny part was I realized that the company that makes the Go XLR no longer supports the Go XLR. And so I had to order a new audio interface.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah. Like for it to even work now, I have to have like the app that controls everything on it. I have to have it open 24/7 now for it to stay working. Like
Always something in it.
yeah, it's always something.
Yeah.
Besides that though, quickly, so we haven't had a show in 4 weeks. My fault. But in the time frame that we've been off, I have watched all of Demon Slayer. I am now understanding the joy that is Minecraft, 25 years later.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I've been thinking about trying to find an alternative to Roblox for my kid.
Right.
And with Minecraft, the whole family can get in and play together.
I mean, it is pretty fun. I used to play it a little bit back in the day.
So like we're all jumping into it with me and my wife have no idea what the hell we're doing. My daughter's played before, but
Yeah.
I had to go through the whole thing of because my daughter's laptop is tied to my Microsoft account. I could not buy it twice, so I had to make her own kids account. And I don't know if you know this, but the kids parental controls are insane on Microsoft. If she opens a browser, it sends a link to me to give her permission.
Wow. Okay.
So I have to go through each and every program that she uses and approve it manually when she goes to use it. Which is good. These are good
it's
things.
Probably annoying at times, though.
Yeah, it is, especially when you're trying to set it up. Because I had to go through and buy it, and I had to go through like this 20-minute thing of approving it on her computer, putting money into her account, and then going over to her computer, buying the thing, and then reapproving her ability to buy it. It was a headache, but once everything was up and running, it was smooth. Also found out that a lot of the texture packages are local. I've been hesitant on installing those because my daughter's laptop cannot handle anything more than the base game.
Right.
But my computer can. Like my computer can handle ray tracing and all that. And yeah, it's we got it up and running. It's good. I'm having fun with it. Now, I am going to say something that's going to probably catch me a lot of hate. Now that I have watched all of Demon Slayer.
Never mind. Don't do it. Don't do it. Turn around. Turn around.
It is good. It is beautiful. It is a beautiful show. The animation is fantastic. In terms of story, it is extremely overrated.
No one likes you, man.
I know. Like I said, it gets better the more you watch it. Like once you get through, the first season is boring as hell. I've probably rewatched the first season 4 or 5 times just trying to get into the show.
The first season?
Yeah.
You didn't like the first season? Something's wrong with you, man.
There's a lot of things wrong with me.
Good. Training.
It's good. It's just not as good as other things that are out. Now, granted, to understand the movie that was just released, you have to watch the show in its entirety.
Yeah, no. Yeah, because the movie is technically season 5. Is it 5 or 4? All right. It's the next season. They just turned it into a movie instead, which they've done with all the previous seasons as well. They just, kind of shortened the season or shortened the episodes and put them in a movie format.
Basically.
And so that's what they decided to do this last season.
Because it's technically the second movie in the series. And the first movie they relaunched as season 3 or season 4. Season 3.
You talking about the train arc?
Yeah.
I think the train arc they made. I think they did both at the same time. I think they made the episodes and then they also made it into a movie if you wanted to watch it as a movie.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think they did the same thing with the red light district. It's not called the red light district, but it's called something district arc.
It's the entertainment district arc.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I enjoyed the show. I did. I just will not watch it again just because I was bored. Naruto had more action, more story, and more character development than anything that Dragon Slayer had.
Dragon Slayer, Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer, sorry.
I guess that shows how much you actually cared and or don't care.
Well, like I said, I watched the whole thing so I could develop my own opinion. And like I said, it was enjoyable. It just, I feel no reason to watch it again. I am on my 8th watch of Solo Leveling.
Well, it's only because it's only, what, 1 or 2 seasons? Is it 2 seasons?
It's like a season and a half right now, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also
it was
26 episodes for the season, which is more than half of the episodes available for Demon Slayer.
That's right. Demon Slayer has a good number of episodes. There's it probably does total 30 though. Yeah, not wrong.
And like I said, it was good and it's worth watching. It's just, if you haven't watched it yet, you're not missing much. The characters in it have been, I think honestly for me, I think the hype behind it killed it for me. Don't get me wrong, if you want pristine animation, it is a gorgeous show. The animation in it is some of the best I've ever seen. It's just the storyline didn't hold me.
It's okay. I'm not mad. I'm a little mad. I can't be mad.
I'm not,
your opinion. That's fine.
I'm not ragging on it to say that it's bad. I'm ragging on it to say that it's overrated.
Overrated is a very negative term. Why can't you just say it's not what you were expecting? You didn't expect it to be gift to Earth, which it's not. But it's still a great show, man. Dude,
it's a good show. It's a good show. Great show? No. Good, yes.
It's one of the better animes that's out right now. Well, I guess. Yeah. Dude, the movie did 600 million. And
I'm not denying it. The fact that it was one of the
most popular movies of 2025. What are we talking about right now? How do we get to this conversation?
That's actually kind of the point I'm getting to. All right.
Okay. So you are admitting that you were wrong and the rest of the world was right.
No. What I'm saying is that the show is so overrated, but that just goes to show you the slop that we've been getting in theaters where a movie based on an overrated show is outperforming even freaking Disney.
Overrated to your standards. But yes.
Yeah. All right, I'll take that. Like I said, being overrated is 100% my opinion. All right. I'm not basing that on fact besides my experience with it.
Okay.
All right.
That's a very mature response. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I am aware of when I state something, people will take it as fact. And it's no, it is just my opinion. These things are opinion based. But yeah, it was still good and I still watched all of it. And when I fell asleep, I went back and rewatched what I slept through.
It's good. It's very responsible of you.
Because
Dedicated. Accountability.
I think one of the things that drove me nuts is how some of the characters are being forced into being iconic characters, but they have zero growth.
You're right. Some characters are introduced, they're not really given much growth, much of a backstory. They're kind of just there, and you kind of just expect them to be goats and connect with them instantly. I understand that. I will allow that.
Like the fire guy from the train arc.
He does have a great story.
He has a good story,
continue
but
to talk about him and the influence that he had on everyone. He has a great story.
I had zero emotional response when compared to like Jiraiya dying in Naruto.
Well, exactly. I mean, that's completely different, and you are right there. You are right there because Jiraiya, you still had like 300 episodes with Jiraiya. Yeah, I did cry like a tiny little baby that just got punched in the face when Jiraiya died. That was
Spoiler warning. 10 years later.
You said it first. I didn't say it. You said it.
I'm just saying. I'm making a joke at the fact that we didn't give a spoiler warning for a show that's 15 years
ruin
old.
it for somebody.
Oh, really?
I did ruin it for somebody, dude, and I apologize. I was so sad for him. I felt so fucking bad. I felt so bad. Like,
I'll tell you what, that's one of those things though that you can know about and it'll still hit you hard.
Yeah. I mean, he was talking about like me and his girlfriend were talking about it, and he was talking about like it was in the past tense. Like he's like, yeah, I love that show. It's a great show. And I'm like, oh yeah, man. We're talking about. I was like, yo, when Jiraiya died, he's like, no, I haven't gotten there yet. You mean Jiraiya dies? I was like, you were talking about it in the past tense. I felt so bad.
Oh man, I mean, honestly, like there's two scenes that really will tug on your heartstrings when it comes to that show, and that is the Jiraiya passing away and the Choji butterfly.
Choji butterfly. What was that?
Where Choji basically goes Super Saiyan during the war. They emphasize it a lot more in the show than they do the manga.
Okay.
Because I hit a point that I was caught up to the show and I got tired of waiting for the next episode, so I just went and read it because I know the manga was ending, and then I went back and watched most of what was left of the show as it came out. But yeah, there's this huge arc with Choji that is just will rip on your heartstrings.
Yeah. I was late to the party, and I started watching Naruto like really late. It was almost done by the time I started it, but I was still, and I mean like from like episode 1, like Naruto and not Shippuden, but I was still able to finish the entire series before they finished it. So I had caught up, and I was still like in the middle of the war. Or I caught up when they were still in the middle of the war, and I got tired, and I read the manga too.
Yeah. It's kind of where I was, because like every episode was a freaking cliffhanger.
Yeah. And like, I never even went back and watched the episodes. I never went back and watched the episodes, but then like I kind of went back and looked through like where I was to see if I really wanted to do it. And there was like 100 more episods left. I was like, how the fuck did I do that? I felt like they
changed a lot for the
they
show.
were getting ready to do it.
Because I remember I was reading the manga and I know how it ended. And my wife was watching the show, and I looked back over her shoulder going, that's not how that happened. And I'm not sure if I like that better or not.
I mean, like where I was, I think it was right when, what's his fuck creates the 2 moons.
Yep.
And he creates the first moon, and then he creates the second one. I think it was like on that episode, and the manga doesn't last long after that.
No.
It's only like maybe a 20-minute read after that. And then like I got back and like there's like 100 more episodes. I'm like, how the fuck did they do that? How did they stretch that out that much? I think there was like a lot of filler that they added. There
was a lot of filler, and there was a lot of this is how the world is after the war.
Okay. I didn't get that. I guess I got a sense of that because I did start Boruto.
I'm iffy on Boruto.
I can't know, but I got several episodes in, but they haven't released the English dub past like episode 70 or something like that. Which
Oh,
is where I
wow.
was. Maybe I'm like, anyway, where I was, like, they haven't released any more of the English stuff, so I didn't watch it, which is actually strange now that I say it, because I only watched Shippuden Naruto dubbed, because I could not take the English voice actor at all.
You mean
So
subbed?
what did I say? Yeah, subbed. So I had to watch it subbed because I could not take the English voice actor. Every time he would say, believe it, I would get furious. I would get furious.
That's how I am
I
with.
understood that he was saying it in subbed. I mean, I would hear him say it, but it just didn't trigger me as much. And I was just like, all right,
I think I
whatever.
felt the same way about I'm going to be king of the pirates.
Oh, dude. I think that's probably why I watch One Piece, man. Dude, and I would sit there and I would think, I'm just like, do they get this voice actor to record this line after every fucking episode? Like, as they do the, like, oh, what's happening in the next episode? And Luffy's giving the summary. And then at the end, he's like, I'm going to be the king of the pirates. I'm like, do they just, like, do they have it on, like, a soundtrack? Or do they have the voice actor say it every single fucking
It's
time?
got to be on a soundtrack. Because that voice actor probably being freaking sane.
Oh, especially after like 2,000 episodes, I would be crazy.
Well, that actually is going to lead us into our first subject here. Nice little segue there. So the one thing that I do appreciate about Netflix's One Piece is, one, they're staying loyal to the source material for the most part, and two, it's extremely condensed.
Yes, so I think that's good. I mean, I do want to go back and watch One Piece and watch the anime. I got past Sky Island. I think I had just finished Sky Island, but dude, I was getting burned out going through Sky Island. It is so long. It was so long, and I'm like, dude, it's the same stuff over and over, and like nothing's really happening. That was bad. That was tough. It was really tough, and I was just like, I can't do it.
Watching
So I stopped.
One Piece is like watching Dragon Ball Z by episode on Toonami in the 90s. When
But I mean, you were so invested in that, though. You were like every week.
I was also
You're-
8,
Yeah.
9 years
Dude,
old
I was watching One
that.
Piece as like, and I was watching it as background noise. I had it on as background noise, like just on the TV, like while I was doing my day job, and I still just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Even just like half focusing, it was not working.
And that's why I enjoy the live action, because one, Netflix is staying pretty close to the source material. Like, I've watched like the first like 300 episodes of One Piece, the anime. And so far I'm about halfway through the second season of the live action. First season is probably the first 100 episodes in 8 episodes.
Really?
Like, it is that condensed.
Doesn't it end when like as they're fighting the chefs?
It's after that. Yeah.
Yeah, just like after that. That was like probably like 50 episodes. I was saying it was about 50, right?
No, it goes further than that, because I think Sanji was there when they went back to Nami's hometown, weren't they?
They reached Nami's hometown in the first season of the live action.
Yeah, and they even beat the swordfish guy.
Oh, yeah, that's probably like 100 episodes. Yeah, I'm talking like I'm like a One Piece expert. I'm not a fucking One Piece expert. I don't fucking know.
But yeah, I mean, all of that is in the first 8 episodes, or the one season of the live action. They get through all of it. They get everybody.
Yeah, so they get to the Grand Line, for like the end of the first season.
Yeah, when at the end of the first live action, they are at the cusp of getting to the Grand Line. The second season starts with them entering the Grand Line.
Okay, that's pretty impressive. I would still say that's probably still like, yeah, maybe 60, 70 episodes. I always thought like getting to the Grand Line was going to be like the majority of what One Piece was.
Nope.
And then once they get to the Grand Line, then they're going to find the One Piece. And then like I was watching, they're like, hey, we're at the Grand Line. I was like, how the fuck is this show 2,000 episodes?
Yeah. Yeah. But I will say this, though. They are staying very close to the source material, which everybody is appreciating.
Yeah.
So if you don't feel like you can get through the anime, the live action's not a bad substitute. But speaking of Netflix live action, so now there's talk of Samurai Champloo.
They better not fuck this up, dude. They better not fuck this up.
I mean, that's a big name right there.
Dude,
I think that's the boomers in us that are just like,
Well, it is. It absolutely is that. But
Yeah.
that does not change the fact that we care deeply for it.
no,
I
it
haven't
doesn't.
even seen Samurai Champloo that many times. I've maybe seen it only twice.
I think it's only got a season.
Yeah, it's only one
Yeah.
season. It's like 26 episodes. It's pretty quick to
was just
stand for the last anime we were talking about.
It was just like Cowboy Bebop. It was
Yeah.
a very short little thing. But
Yeah,
I mean,
like
it's
that's the
one of
way
those
anime
things
used
that-
to be, though.
Well, I think it's the way it should be to some extent. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't have shows that go on seemingly forever, but I don't know. I feel like I appreciate those shows that were really short, that didn't have a lot to it, because I find myself thinking about those shows more than the ones that were really long, aside from like Dragon Ball Z. And that's probably because I grew up with it.
I mean, even so, when you look at Dragon Ball Z, it's not that long. Dragon Ball Z is not that long, especially when you compare it to Naruto and.
If you're
One
comparing
Piece.
it to newer shows today, yes, but back in the day, that was unheard of. I mean, there was nothing like that back then.
That's fair. And I'm in between. Like, I remember like watching Samurai Champloo, and I'm like, there needs to be more episodes in this. I mean, yeah, I do appreciate it. Less is sometimes more. That was just a great series, but I still wanted more. But I also like Naruto is way too long. One Piece is way too long.
Well, that's the other thing too about Samurai Champloo that I don't know if a lot of people remember. Like, its animation for the time was top notch.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
I think it was kind of difficult for them to make some of that.
Yeah, because that was before like the whole digital animation and because they were doing full blown page by page, hand drawn into, like they were doing like the spinning kicks and everything like that you just cannot get the full grasp of in animation, and they were doing it fantastically. Gosh, we're talking what, 2008?
Something like that, yeah.
Samurai Champloo in 2008.
Yeah.
You're
When did
crazy.
When did that show come out?
97. I'm gonna say 97.
I mean, I think it might have been like 2004, 2006, maybe. I think it might have been a little sooner.
Okay, Phelps wins 2004.
Yeah.
Was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep, the closest without going over.
He was dead on. He said 2004.
yeah. I know.
Yeah. What I'm saying is the perfect length is what I grew up on. Rurouni Kenshin and Yu Yu Hakusho. Those are like 4 seasons each. What, like maybe 20 episodes per season?
But even that felt kind of balanced, you know. It didn't feel like it was too much.
Yeah. I thought that was perfect, man.
Yeah, I was
not that many episodes per season.
I was a little bit ahead of that. I'm 9, but you know, in the 90s and when I was really getting into anime, it was one-off movies and single season shows because they would tell a story and be done.
Yeah.
You had Trigun, Hellsing, Gungrave, Guyver, Elfen Lied.
You say Elfen Lied and not Elfen Lied?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I never watched that. I wanted to start watching it, but what was that? There was a time in my life where I was watching animes at work. And
yeah, that's not when you can watch around people.
I mean, I'm still doing it now, but I was also working on site. And I remember one time, like, my boss even like tried to bitch at me about doing it, but I was just like, I'm the best worker, right? I do the most work, I get the most work done, and I get it done the fastest and with the best resolutions. And they're like, well, I mean, yeah, but you're still watching anime at the same time. I'm like, dude, why would you break that?
Right.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, so what? And then I was like, all right, maybe I'll start Elfen Lied because I heard so many good things about it. I got like 30 seconds into that show. I'm like, nope, can't watch this. You can't do that. Can't do that.
That show is, gosh, it's probably been 20 years since I watched it, but it's still not safe for work.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the show? Actually, maybe it's probably not a good comparison because like the trailer for this show was like the opening scene of Elfen Lied. Have you ever seen what was it? Something Raised by Wolves. It was like an HBO series. It didn't last long, but it was like,
I think I remember something about that.
Was it something Raised by Wolves? I don't know.
But while we're on the topic of animation, Firefly's coming back as an animated show.
Dude, I saw all the news for that and everyone getting out and putting out all their teasers and stuff. And then I was watching it, as they were like having, like, I guess they're like their press conference, or not press conference, but like everyone was like sitting down live with their own, I don't know what I'm trying to say. And I started, as soon as he said the word animated, I was like, fuck. I don't know how I feel about that.
I am 50-50 on it. Like, well, I'm 30-30-30. All right. 30% of me is like a little disappointed that it's going to be animated. 30% of me is like, all of these actors have aged 25 years.
Not wrong.
They can't do the same thing. And then the other 30% of me is like, can we just let it die?
No, I didn't think that. I mean, I did think, I'm like, animated. I thought that's tough. They are older, but I still think they could pull off the look. I still think they could do a series where they are still live action and they're doing. Yeah, Nathan Fillion is not doing as much action scenes as he was in the show. Maybe they're not doing crazy action scenes. They can still be behind cover and shoot, but they're not jumping over stuff. He's not running through a battlefield.
Yeah.
But he still could. I mean, they brought back Scrubs. And so far, all the Scrubs episodes have been, they did not miss a step. They've been so good, in my opinion. They picked up right where they left off from season 8. Season 9 does not count. We don't count season 9 in Scrubs. But I think they picked up, they entered the same exact flow, making it a good mix of comedy and life lessons and drama and heartfelt and humor and ridiculousness.
That's fair.
Yeah. I feel like Firefly can probably do the same thing, even though it's animated. I don't know what the animation's going to look like, though. I feel like that's...
I saw like a little cell image, and it looks like it's going to be very similar to like Arcane style.
I will allow it. I was going to say, like, if they kind of have like an art style that's kind of like like Titan AE or something like that, I feel like they could get away with that. Did you guys ever see Titan AE? That movie was so good.
Oh God, it's been so long.
That was one of my favorite movies when I was growing up.
Saw it maybe once or twice, but I barely remember anything about it.
Yeah. What was it? What was the other movie that studio did? It was like Atlantis.
Oh yeah, the Disney one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Titan AE. Then you had the what was the one where it was basically pirates in space?
Titan AE.
Was that Titan AE? Yeah.
Yeah. If it's animation kind of like that, in that style, I'll allow it. It can't be too anime-y.
Yeah.
And it can't be too cartoony. which is, I guess, really tough to say. I guess I have my own interpretation of what cartoony would be. If it's animated, it's obviously cartoony, right? Does that make sense? That's a weird concept.
Oh, no, it's, I can't find that same image again. But yeah, it was kind of like, it was along those lines, though.
Mm-hmm.
And then, huh? No, not yet.
Oh, here's a look at the concept art they showed. Oh, that's too realistic. I don't like it. That's too realistic.
Well, see, I found one here. I found one here, but it's got Daggett in it, and Daggett's dead. So
who?
Sorry, not Daggett.
You talking about Shepard?
The guy who wore the knit cap.
Pretty sure. What's his name?
Actually, I'm pretty sure most of the crew is dead after the movie, aren't they?
No, only
Wash is dead, but he's back.
Yeah, Wash died. Shepard died. Oh yeah, he did. They didn't seem like they were bringing Alan back, weren't they?
Yeah, because he was in all the promo material.
He was.
It's called Firefly Still Flying.
Interesting. Yeah, this is all the concept art that I see. It's too realistic. I'm not a huge fan. It's like more along the lines of like Archer, but hopefully they move better.
Well, and Archer was pretty low budget. Funny as hell, but low budget. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so Steam is under investigation again. This time feels a bit forced. So fans have discovered malware in specific mods for Schedule 1, Block Blasters, Chemia, Dashverse, Lampy, Lunara, Pirate FI, and Tokenova. None of these games have Steam Workshop games. All of the mods for these games that have the malware on them are provided third party. So Steam is under this whole thing feels very forced. It feels very trying to shut down the company before they monopolize it. Like tinfoil hat and all. Like this whole thing feels.
So you're saying that just because the mods for these games that are being released, the mods have malware in it, and that kind of feels like it's more on Nexus mods. When it,
if they came from Nexus mods,
yeah.
But because Steam hosts the games, that's why they're under investigation.
Dude, I heard a story like. You didn't even mention the one game. I think maybe you did mention the one game that I was thinking about. But there was a story like last week or 2 weeks ago where a streamer who had a crypto wallet, he got encouraged to download a game off of Steam, and the game was malware that took control of his crypto wallet and sent all of his funds to the creator or whatever. So that I can understand. But you're talking about like, okay, I buy a game and the game's perfectly fine, and then I decide to download a mod from a third party.
Yeah.
That sounds like it's either on the third party or it's on you. So you're right.
So basically, all right, just to put it in more simplistic terms, right? So basically they're under investigation for selling the bullet that somebody used to shoot somebody.
It's fair. Ish.
I mean, that's just a very oversimplistic version of what's happening. Tinfoil hat and all, it just feels, this whole thing feels very forced. And I'm not doing that just to jump on the defense of Steam or Valve. It's just, they're getting ready to launch a console that could basically bankrupt several companies.
It did?
Could.
Good.
I mean, if the newest specs that were released are of any merit, then it won't. Because I don't know if you've tried playing. Because so the current modern specs available for this was it the Steam machine?
Yes, Steam machine
is what 30 FPS to 1080.
So no, that's not what they were saying. Are you saying that like that's what the max that they're going to do,
or whatever the average is, or something like that?
No,
they're comparing it to the PS4.
Right. So it's the other way around. That's the floor.
Okay.
That's the floor. That's not the ceiling. I remember when I first read that, and I was like, "There's no way that's the target or whatever." But that's the floor. So if you make a game, you have to have it optimized enough that it can run at 1080p and do 30 frames per second.
See, one thing that actually brings up a question, though. I don't think I know anybody who still has a 1080p TV.
I think a very large majority of PC gamers are still on 1080p.
1080p on monitors.
Yeah, 1080p monitors. But I mean, still in this Steam machine, I guess you're right. It's a console. Yeah, so I guess if it's a console, you probably are hooking it up to your TV. But then it's a PC console, so they're targeting PC gamers.
They are.
I don't fucking know.
It feels like
don't know.
The bridge between the two.
Mm-hmm. You're right. It is supposed to be the bridge between the two, just like the new Xbox, the Helix. You're right. It's supposed to be a bridge between the two. So yeah, people would probably try to put it on TVs. But again, that's the floor. So it's probably going to be aiming to do 4K. If it's somewhat equivalent to the PS4, I mean, it still do 4K 60.
Honestly, if it can do 4K 30, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. The PS4 wasn't doing 4K 60, but I think the Steam machine probably would be able to.
Yeah,
maybe not at high quality, medium.
Oh, even that, that's fine.
Were they having an equivalent of like a 3070 in the? I forgot what the GPU is. I feel like it's equivalent to a 3070. Maybe even a 4070.
That sounds right, but I don't know if they are sticking with AMD or if they're going with NVIDIA for their GPU.
I think it's AMD.
Is it AMD? So that would be if it's a 4070 or was it the? Oh God, what was that 6700 was the last line because we're on the 9700 now.
Are you talking about CPUs?
GPUs.
Oh no, you're talking about NVIDIA, AMD GPUs. Yeah, they're on the RDNA 4s, I think. So I just looked at it. It's Steam Machine's rocking an AMD RDNA 3.
Okay.
Designed for 4K 60. But
And
using upscale.
Yeah, when using upscale and all that. So there's probably going to be a lot of that going on.
Yeah, it's equivalent to an RX 7600 or an RTX 4060.
Okay, so it's still hanging back a couple of generations, but still,
yeah.
Like if you can do, And that's the thing. Once you're in the game, you can't tell what's been upscaled. The average player cannot tell what's been upscaled.
Yeah. Current AMD is on the 9000 series, which is RDNA 4.
Yeah, because I have the 9070 XT. Or is it the 9070 XTX?
Yeah.
For a couple of reasons, but that's neither here nor there. But still, like, a lot of this whole, like, suing them and putting them under investigation is just, one, it's putting a light on them, which is going to help them in the long run. But in the meantime, they're going to be losing people left and freaking right who would have bought it. But at the same time, like, Steam has always been very, very pro-consumer.
Yeah.
So I don't know what, and it's pretty easy to get an indie title onto the platform compared to trying to put it onto the, like, the PlayStation Network or, you know, the GameStop or Game Pass store. But yeah, like I said, this whole thing feels forced. It feels like they're just trying to drag the one company that's still very consumer focused, trying to drag them through the mud. Going to reorganize these last two just because we talked about it a bit already.
Yeah.
If the Steam machine is at least that powerful and does everything that it says it can do, Xbox Helix is going to have a hard time in the market.
It's going to be, from my understanding, it's probably going to be the same exact console. It's going to be the same exact thing.
Yeah.
From your understanding.
It's just going to have a Microsoft UI instead of a Linux-based Steam UI.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be the two major differences between the two. So the only two consoles that are still going to be on the market is going to be the PlayStation and the Nintendo. And the Nintendo doesn't feel like a console anymore.
Yeah. I've ever seen videos or, like, seeing concepts. People were like, they heard about what the new Xbox was going to be, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm definitely buying an Xbox over a PlayStation 6, especially like if Sony exclusives are coming to it." And then now everyone's like, "Well, Steam doing the exact same thing, and PlayStation's no longer releasing their exclusives to the Steam store. Xboxes, it's gonna go away.
Xbox is dead. Long live Xbox."
So, I don't know. I imagine it's probably going to be more expensive than the Steam machine too. I imagine it will be more powerful. I imagine it probably will be more powerful because they're going to try to compete with the PS6 power.
Yeah.
Which the Steam machine is probably doing it. Maybe they're like, hearing the 1080p 30 is kind of like messing with my evaluation analysis a little bit. The Steam machine is probably going to be pretty powerful and powerful enough, but I feel like the PS6 is going to be.
I think this next generation is going to suffer a lot because we're going to have to stick with DDR4 RAM, unless they get proprietary RAM manufactured in China for DDR5.
Yeah, I mean something sticks out to me that the PS5 might not, or the PS6 might not suffer that much. I remember when everyone was talking about microchips, and the microchips were hard to get, and then
the superconductors and all that.
Yeah, and then Sony announced they're like, we're not having an issue. We already have. They didn't have their stock, but they already had like a guaranteed inventory. They already had the contracts and everything in place that they were guaranteed.
They were smart about it.
Yeah, they were smart about it. So I feel like the same thing might apply with their RAM. I mean, if they did it with the microchips in advance before the microchip crisis hit, they probably did it with RAM too. So they might have like their RAM already secured. It might not be in production yet, and they might not have it in their hands, but their manufacturing and their production and their needs is probably already secured. Does that make sense?
Yeah. If they're smart about it. Now, granted, like this last generation, I've kind of fell off with Sony only because of how they treat their customers and their
lack of games.
Lack of games. So lack of games is actually going to be kind of a segue into our last subject here, which is probably going to be the big one of the evening. I know we're running short on time on you guys, but still. So DLSS 5 is being heavily scrutinized by the community because it is basically AI upscaling.
It's all right. I'm going to start by I don't know which way to go with this. I'm both for it and against it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of feel the same way.
It looks so good, and it's going to make
almost real.
Yeah, it looks so crazy good, and kind of this I feel like this is kind of like what gamers want, better graphics, really sharp, hard-tuned graphics, and I feel like graphics have kind of plateaued for a little bit, even though things are getting better here and there, but around 2015 we kind of plateaued, they haven't gotten that much better. Lighting has gotten a lot better, and so that's why when RTX came out, they were really focused on lighting. Lighting was the only thing that was kind of changing. Character models, face models, it's only progressed a little bit since the mid 2010s.
I remember playing stuff on the PS3 and the 360 that looked more real than stuff that came out in 2020.
Yeah. I mean,
there were certain titles. Yeah.
I think DLS 5 is going to shine for old games. I think it's going to shine for old games.
Yeah.
Not new games so much. They were showing off a Resident Evil Requiem. I don't think Requiem needed it. But if you look at what they did with Starfield looks like a completely different game.
Yeah.
Starfield looks crazy good. I think older games are really going to shine.
So here's some of the public backlash that they're getting. One, DLSS 5 is replacing several jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And also there is the stigma that it is removing art from video games.
Yeah. So I agree with both things. I think one of the main things it's probably going to take away a lot of developers. Games are probably going to seriously. I mean, we already had problems with optimization for games before, but now they're going to developers might get seriously later. Stakeholders are going to start cutting their developer staff, if they're just if we just get someone to make the bare bones and then upskilling, this AI upskilling, we'll do the rest. A lot of developers will probably start losing their job. They'll probably cut corners in a lot of places. But here it's definitely taken away the art that the art director and the dev teams and the developers had for their art direction, and we're replacing it with whatever this AI NVIDIA wants it to be. Right.
It's definitely taken away that. But here's the other side of that. Right. If we get to a point to where we can artistically put in the minimum effort and be cranking out games, we could enter into an era again like we were in the 90s and early 2000s where we were getting 9-10 games a week. I might be, here's the boomer in me talking about, the days gone by, but
if you do that, you need to lower the pressure of games then. That's gross.
I agree. But also at that same time, the games that stood out from that time frame stood out because they were eons above everything else.
Well, that's because back then you had to innovate to stand out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, if this could lead to more innovation, that's where I'm more positive about it versus the slop we've been getting the last 8 years.
Oh yeah.
We don't know how I feel. But you're right. Been slop. We complain about slop about people not taking care of the games, and then we also complain about slop about AI and AI slop. So now we're kind of almost just combining the two to get something. And it's
get the pitchforks and torches, get the kids off our lawn.
True. I mean, I saw someone say anytime NVIDIA does something, they're usually ahead of the curve and they set the standard.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's probably going to be the same way with DLS5. It's probably not going to be ideal. A lot's going to suffer, but as soon it's just going to become second nature. Ray tracing has become second nature. Having an RTX graphics card has become second nature.
The main thing I'm worried about is what is going to be the resource cost to manufacture cards that can handle DLSS 5. Because that is going to be passed on directly to the consumers.
It's true. I mean, what it sounds like, is that the current cards will be able to support it. They haven't officially released what cards are going to be able to support DLS 5.
5090.
I imagine it's yeah. I mean, you look at it and you're like people are like, after people watched the demo, they found out that the demo was run on two 5090s. They had one 5090 to run the game, and then they had one to do the actual upscaling. And so, like, when you hear that kind of shit, you're like, ooh.
Yeah, like the average person cannot even afford one 5090 right now, if they can even find it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can find it now. I mean, I look every now and again, like the Rogue Strix Astral. It's always in stock on Newegg. It's constantly in stock, so it's there. It just depends if you want to drop $4,500 for it.
I've bought cars for less than that.
God, you can buy a fucking car for less than that. You're not right. It won't be a great car, but it will get you from A to B.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not wrong. What else did I want to say about DLS5? I saw that you said in like one of the notes that it's not a filter. It is a filter. Or
I never said it was a filter.
Is it more than an AI filter? I mean, NVIDIA confirmed that it really is. It is just an overlay filter on top of the generated
which isn't 100% horrible. Like, I do understand. Like, does DLSS 5 and AI in this situation reduce the amount of artistic necessity to bring out these games? 100% yes. But the consumers will not know.
Exactly. I mean, you're right. You will not know. I think about this the same thing, like when people complain about DLSS to begin with and frame generation, they're always like, oh, it's a fake frame. For every like one frame the game produces, AI produces one frame or whatever. So they're fake frames. I'm like, but in this case, a frame is a frame. Like, you're not going to know. Like,
yeah,
you can't tell which frame is fake. Obviously your eyes are not seeing that fucking fast. You're not seeing 100 frames like per millisecond. So you can see which frame within the 100 frames per second is a fake frame or not a fake frame or whatever. You're not seeing it. And like, it's not the same thing as like, if you give me a fake banana. I mean, if you give me a fake banana and I'm able to eat it and get all the nutrition and fill up my stomach from it, is it fake? Is it still fake? Oh, dude, we're about to enter a different concept. What about cloning? Is it really fake then? Is it actually fake?
Stay in the topic.
Is it really fake then? Is it fake? Is it just not real? I mean, I guess if you gave me a banana and it was a hologram and I ate it and I couldn't taste it and it doesn't fill up my stomach, then yeah, that's a fake banana. But if it actually does what it's supposed to do with a real banana, does it make it fake anymore? Is it just, I don't know. You look at Star Trek and, they had the food synthesizer and they're like, yeah, well, that's fake food. It's just mush. It looks like a steak and it tastes like a steak, so I'm going to eat it like it's a steak and tell you that.
I think it could all be a matter of perspective and maybe even mind over matter in this particular case.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see here. What else did I have on there? Oh, yeah. So it says why Griff is not sad about the layoffs it's causing. Mainly for the fact that the lack of actual artistic presence within the gaming community or within the gaming development. Can we go from none to none?
I kind of had a feeling that's kind of like what you were saying. You're like, remember saying like if game developers had actually would take the time to fully optimize their games and start to innovate, would DLS5 even be necessary? Would it even be created? If you guys are not doing your job to begin with, every game needs a day one patch to make it run better and smoother.
Yeah.
Can't run on everyone's build. Maybe if you guys did your job from the get-go, this kind of thing wouldn't have been necessary.
Basically, is kind of what I'm getting at there. Also, this can also push the art towards better storytelling. Because think about all of the games that have been successful in the last 10 years. They are all single-player, extremely story-driven games.
I will take that.
They are never cutting edge on the graphical side of things, but they are always, the story sells the game.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, Expedition 33, we can use that as an example forever.
Yeah. I still remember playing Expedition 33 for the first time.
Yeah.
I try not to judge games based on their graphics, but everyone's telling me like it's such a gorgeous game. And like, I still remember playing, I'm like, I feel like the graphics could still be a little bit better. They're still good. And it's a very colorful world. It's beautiful, but I still think they could be better
and the world
with
building,
the hype everyone's giving it.
Yeah, the story and the world building just pulls you in so freaking hard.
Yeah, once you get into that stuff and like I get into the story and I'm getting into the world, I'm like, yeah, the graphics don't matter to me. I really don't care. I'm definitely.
But I think when it comes to Expedition 33 in particular, when you consider how small the team was, it's still really impressive that it looks as good as it does.
Which is also probably why we're going to see a lot of layoffs.
Yeah.
Because we got these AAA studios out there with they had 33 for Expedition 33, but they had, 8,000 for Assassin's Creed. Right.
It's tough.
It definitely makes you question what those people are getting paid for.
Yeah.
True. And I mean, that's probably where they're turning out. So you're comparing those two games. Assassin's Creed Shadows I still think it's a lot better than people give it credit for. People are crapping on it because it's Ubisoft, and Ubisoft does make terrible, horrible, greedy decisions. Absolutely. But Shadows, I thought, was a beautiful game. Those graphics were fucking gorgeous. But you're right. Their story was weak. The story was a cookie cutter revenge story of a whole bunch of people, killed my family members. I'm gonna go hunt them down, which is usually what Assassin's Creed kind of does. But the story was very cookie cutter. A lot of the missions and the missions of those stories were very cookie cutter, not very well thought out. Character development was not great. So, those two comparisons. A game that was Expedition 33, still very beautiful, but the story was just top tier, dynamic character development, top tier. And you got a game that's just extremely gorgeous, well played. I like the play style. The gameplay was good, but the story was just whack, wildly not good.
Yeah. And if we're talking about like Assassin's Creed in particular as a comparison, I think a title like that has really crossed into like Call of Duty status. There's just been so many of them over the course of time. It's become very stagnant, and it's just not like it's not this new creative thing anymore, and it's never going to be at this point. It's impossible for it to recapture that feeling that you once had when you first played those type of games. They just can't accept that time is gone.
All right.
I will agree.
Hold on real quick, because Solom's just hit on a topic here. So for everybody, that's watching later on, the show is now over, but we're about to enter into a bonus topic. Solom's hit on it there. And we're going to jump into a bonus topic here that is a little bit, probably going to be a little bit politically incorrect in the terms of where we started to get microtransactions.
Oh, okay.
With Call of Duty specifically.
Call of Duty. Okay. I mean, so I was gonna say,
yeah.
it's also saying
that's a whole nother thing. But yeah.
That's why it's the bonus topic of the evening.
I'm also saying Assassin's Creed was crossing into Call of Duty territory. I think they've been there. They've been there because there was definitely a time where both Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty were releasing a game every year to just banking off the name for people to buy it.
Well, yeah, but it's also just like, the definition and lacking creativity, because they, in the beginning, they were what seemed like some of the most creative games ever created. And then it just seemed like the people who made those games, they just wanted to keep recapturing that magic as much as they could. And it's like, I don't know, man, you can only capture lightning in a bottle so many times.
Right. I think they were kind of just like, especially Call of Duty, and Assassin's Creed got there, like they made the first few and they were just such big hits that they're just like, and another word that we used earlier tonight, innovate. They're like, we're no longer going to innovate. We're just going to keep making the same thing and push it out. We've already released, by the time they had their first 3 iterations, people were just buying them up like crazy. So like, all right, we've made a name for ourselves. Yeah. Everyone's going to buy it for the name now. We don't need to innovate. We just need to keep pushing. We just need to start pumping these things out. They're going to buy it.
Yeah, I think you could really start to, even as a player, you could tell when they stopped caring about what they were making.
Yeah.
Like it was like Assassin's Creed 1 and Assassin's Creed 2. You're like, this is hands down some of the best gameplay I've ever played. And then apparently, like, once Black Flag came out, that was the last one that actually had love built into it.
Black Flag was the last one that had love built into it. You're right. And then Unity and Syndicate came out. And I think at least Assassin's Creed hit that point. Call of Duty obviously hasn't hit that point because they still are pumping them out every year. But Assassin's Creed hit that point where they realized, like, all right, we're not going to tolerate your shit.
Yeah.
And then they had to cut back. They were no longer releasing them every year. And that's when Origins came out. They kind of like had to rework the game flow a little bit. And they moved to 2-year intervals. Then they had Odyssey. And Odyssey was a little bit more well received. I don't know. I remember I still hate Syndicate in Unity. And I still think those were some of the worst received games.
I think Valhalla was a fantastic game, but it could have existed without the Assassin's Creed title.
I think it was a great game. You're right. If it didn't say Assassin's Creed on it, it probably would have done a lot better.
Yeah.
One of the things that
I will say, when it comes to Unity, though, I thought Unity was actually pretty good when it came to its parkour system, but it unfortunately had a terrible launch. And that launch kind of caused me to not even really play through the game that much because it was kind of unplayable in the beginning. I don't know if you guys played it when it first came out.
I think I played it. Unity was the one where they really forced the co-op, right?
It had co-op in it, but it barely worked when I played it.
Yeah. I mean, when I played Unity, I remember the game was kind of broken when it came out. I really didn't like it.
It was.
But I'm pretty sure it was Unity because it was called Unity because they wanted you to do co-op, but they were like really forcing the co-op. And there was a lot of missions though, like you have to have 2 people for it. And
you also have to have friends.
But do you remember the parkour system in that game?
No, I didn't play for that long.
I actually thought that the way that they redid the parkour system in that game was intuitive because you had more control in your ability to, maneuver up or down when you're like, kind of parkouring through stuff. It just felt like you could accurately do what you were trying to do. But I didn't really get into that game too much. And I noticed after that game, that parkour system that I personally thought was really good, they just completely abandoned it after that game and just said the hell with it and did something that was cheaper, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing that. Or maybe it was, because was Unity the one that was in London with the brother and sister, or was that Syndicate?
No, Syndicate was the brother and sister. I think Unity was just one character you played as. Okay,
maybe it was Unity, but people like the parkour in Unity and maybe in Syndicate, and like the fight style. They thought were like some of the best. And you're right, they definitely changed the parkour system and the fight style with like Origins. Odyssey and Valhalla.
Oh yeah.
And playing Shadows, they released a Shadows update and they updated the parkour. And one of the things that they said was like the parkour in Shadows will be closer to like what it was in Unity.
Yeah.
And I think people like really received like you have a lot of. I mean, I thought the parkour in Shadows was pretty good to begin with, but it seems like they've added like a lot more versatility to it and a lot more up, down, free jumping.
Really?
And I think, yeah, they said, fair, continue.
So, so the current iteration of microtransactions that we are aware of may be a derivative of Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
Because apparently the CEO of EA or Activision and Jeffrey Epstein were best buddies. And it kind of really does put a change on how you perceive microtransactions in the Call of Duty when the currency used in Call of Duty is called CP.
Well, what's really funny when the concept of microtransactions was first like even presented as an idea, people thought of it as a quote unquote predatory idea, but now that takes a whole new meaning when you really think about it.
Yeah. And like, I think even though the guy and Epstein were friends, wasn't Epstein like kind of like encourage him to do it? He's like, yeah, man, you should do that.
Yeah.
Do that.
Right. Yeah. That is what was reported. Yeah.
Because one of the first microtransactions available was a horse in one of the Elden Rings. Not Elden Rings.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls. That's
Elder
it.
Scrolls. Yeah.
Was it Morrowind?
I think I was gonna say Morrowind. Yeah, I've seen a video where someone goes back. Like he hits himself and he goes back in time. I was like, stop.
Yes.
If you buy this horse, it's going to change everything. Your transaction alone is going to ruin gaming in the future. It's like, you're telling me if I buy this horse, it's going to ruin transactions in gaming? It's going to create a domino effect. And people are like, oh, I definitely don't want that. And all of a sudden you hear, bing, he's just like, did you buy it? And he's like, well, yeah, man, it's really fucking cool.
Right.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So a little fun fact, but yeah. So anyway, thank you all for coming and watching. We hope you had a good time. We will see you all